Everybody, welcome to the UGA Sports Live recap of Georgia's first day of practice. My name is Radi Nabulsi. I'm joined by Jed May. We just got done seeing about 10 minutes of practice? 10-ish minutes of practice. We both focused on the offense. We'll touch on defense first, though, because we asked we have 3 other people out there covering practice today, and some of our guys gave us some quick hitters on who looked good. There'll be a full practice report at UGAsports.com. You can read all their notes, but real quick on defense, what did they say?
Chris Cole, a freshman linebacker, was very impressive. Perhaps most consequentially for the defense is Patrick Garvin saying Janelle Aguero looked good, and he's kind of the favorite to be the star to replace Javon Bullard and Tyke Smith.
Interceptions he used.
He had a couple good catches, interceptions. He's obviously physically impressive. He looks the part. So I think as far as what it would mean this fall, that's the big show. Xavier McLeod transferred working with the second team D-line.
Yeah, with the Jordan Hall news, he's questionable for the first game. So McLeod working that second team, that's that depth. Kirby Smart said in the press conference, we got to work on the defensive line depth. That's what they're doing out here today. It is hot as blue blazes. Some of the guys the coaches were getting on some of them, especially Dante Williams, about their conditioning.
Yep.
They do it every year. I don't know if it's real or not. You're running too slow. Arian Smith was getting an absolute earful, and he's in shape. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, and Kirby's like, you're not getting over there fast enough. I'm like,
if he's not, then who is?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Offensively, kind of what stood out to you?
Well, just going down the positions, Ryan Puglisi, I guess he's a freshman? Freshman, yeah. He had a stress fracture in his knee in the spring, missed most of the spring. Right. No knee brace or anything, so he looks fine. Jaden Rashada was out there with the team now. Running back Branson Robinson.
I did hear nice ball Rashada on their 4-wide drill, because they basically run 4 routes. They have 4 quarterbacks, each got throws a certain route. And as they were breaking down, the one compliment I think I heard all day was, good ball Rashada. My Mike Bobo, no less. It wasn't an assistant. So
Branson Robinson looks good, and Kirby Smart had the good update earlier today where he doesn't have any limitations. They're going to be careful with him and manage how much he's working, but he looked good. Trevor Etienne is one of those guys. He's short but not small. He's not particularly tall, but he's a pretty well
running back Trevor.
Yeah, he's a pretty well put together dude. Speaking of well put together dudes, Colby Young still looks like a Clydesdale from the spring. Dylan Bell is jacked. Dominic Lovett is jacked. I mean, it's a very impressive looking receiver and a very impressive tight end room too. Jaden Riddell, the freshman, had a nice kind of fingertip grab in those routes on area you were talking about. Ben Urasek looks, for some reason, I thought he was more of a Pierce Sperlin, long and lanky body type. He looks like a little bit bigger version of Lawson Lucky to me, just kind of glancing at him.
Thick bull neck,
for
big
sure.
Jaw, so.
And then offensive line, Dylan Fairchild was the first team left guard, but him and Michael Morris were very interchangeable. Second team featured Monroe Freeling. Jamal Merriweather's out there. He's a guy we've heard about a lot.
Yeah.
Drew Bobo was your center, so some interesting developments on the second team offensive line.
So Jared Wilson, the first team center. They talked about his speed. They weren't really working speed drills today when they were doing Indy. They were working 2-on-1s and such like that, and covering gaps. From a weight standpoint, that offensive line looked good. That is a good-looking group.
For sure.
I've been doing this. This is 31 years for me. This is not a bunch of. Usually the first day of practice, there's some fat guys out there and they're just pouring sweat. These guys look pretty good. They looked in good shape. Saw the new guy, Jazir Jackson.
Listed at 6'10", 348 on the roster they gave us.
I had to double check. I'm like, is that Amarius Mims? Is he back? Yeah. Did he lie? Did he not get drafted? Because because you would see all those offensive linemen, then you always see Amarius Mims, kind of 3 inches taller than everybody else. That's what we're seeing in number 64, Jazir Jackson. Where was he repping?
The brief time I saw him, he was at left tackle, which makes sense when you're 6'10". I would expect him to maybe get some scout team work at some point this fall. I mean, if he's even ready for that. Like Kirby said today, he hadn't played football since 8th grade, so he's got a lot of catching up to do. But
he didn't look like a guy who's teach me the sport.
Yeah, he looked like he knew what he was doing, which. Considering this was the beginning of practice we saw, I guess is a pretty good sign.
Thinking back to the wide receivers, Dylan Bell, like I said, looks good. He was running crisp routes. Arian Smith was with the ones, of course. Dom Lovett with the ones. So they're basically running Dylan Bell, Dom Lovett, Arian Smith, and then Oscar Delp as your 1 through 4. So then after that, it's hodgepodge. I mean, there's
when I saw tight ends, Lucky was going second and Urasek was going third. But obviously he wasn't here in the spring. He's got some catching up to do. So I feel like those three are kind of going to be a 1A, 1B, 1C kind of deal probably as we go through the fall.
Good-looking wide receiver group. The tailbacks all look sharp. Was really interested to see some of the young guys. You know, there's we saw one of them in the spring. You know, 2 new guys in. All I'm hearing about is buzz on Nate Frazier, and I did hear one of the coaches calling him out. You know, come on, Nate, you got to be over here. One of those guys got a good attaboy going through the drills because one of the assistants. Now remember, the assistant coaches now, the analysts, the graduate assistants, everybody who's in the building can now be on the field and coaching. That used to be a no-no. So this is it's new. So there's a lot more volume going out there. But the good thing was a guy I've never seen before is going up to one of your potential starters, you know, maybe this year or next, saying, hey, good job. After he got called out by one of the other coaches, hey, good job in that drill, being that it's your first day doing it.
Yep.
You know, some of these guys, they haven't done these drills before. Yes, they do 8 hours of practice or meetings a week. This is our instruction. Today's a new day. So they were doing special teams. That's when they kicked us out. I thought it was a neat little conversation there that Kirby had at the end.
Yeah, he gave Anthony Evans an earful, said everything mattered. I saw you drop a ball this morning because I was looking outside. He was talking about Nate Frazier. He told Nate Frazier, why are you walking? I thought you wanted to start on a punt team. So
I wasn't going to put it out there, but yeah.
And listen, for a guy like Nate Frazier, this is his first, like you said, first real practice, and he is going to quickly find out today that you get treated a little different when you're not a top 100 recruit.
Everybody gets treated differently on day one. It's 900 degrees out here. These guys are going to, they're sweating. Carson Beck was pouring.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, he took the bottle, went over his head, but you can tell this is Carson Beck's team. There's no question in my mind. It's different than last year. He was the starter. There wasn't a question about it, but he was still year one of his starting. It had been 2 years of Stetson Bennett. Everyone knew he was the guy after spring, but no, this is definitely a new team. Anyway, hopefully we'll get to watch practice tomorrow or maybe on day 3, but for day 1, this is Jed May. I'm Radi Nabulsi. Stay tuned to UGA